In today's news, effective Friday, July 15th, a negative COVID test will not be required to enter the BVI. Two new Omicron variants detected in the BVI. Residents are urged to be vigilant, with active COVID cases now at 24. A minimum budget of $1.5 to $2 million is said to be needed to host high-quality festivals in the Virgin Islands. Kaisa Penn is acting Human Resources Director. Malone and Scatliffe prepare to represent the Great Britain women's baseball team at the Euro Championships. All this when 284 News returns.
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Aye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What do you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What you really? Hey, this ain't like you,
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out of trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I huff. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
Welcome everybody. It's Thursday, July 14th, 2022. I'm Ron Grant coming to you live and direct from Tortola in the Virgin Islands. Happy Thursday to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for joining us. Beginning our newscast on the local scene. Effective tomorrow, Friday, July 15th, the British Virgin Islands will no longer require persons traveling to the territory to present a negative COVID-19 test result. This was confirmed in a government-commissioned press release on today, Thursday, which said that the further relaxing of the COVID-19 protocols stems from a cabinet decision yesterday on Wednesday. It said the cabinet passed an amendment to the COVID-19 Control and Suppression Act Entry of Persons regulation on July 13th that revokes the COVID-19 testing requirements. Speaking on the decision was Permanent Secretary within the Ministry of Health, Ms. Patrona Davies, who said the move is as a result of the low presence of the COVID-19 virus in the territory. Ms. Davies said, and I quote, "Currently the statistics are revealing that the virus is having a very minimal impact on those affected and the mortality rates have decreased significantly. This is why we feel at this stage we can reopen the borders and return to pre-COVID normal with regards to travel to the territory." Davies also urged residents to remain vigilant and continue safeguarding themselves against the virus despite the full reopening of the territory's borders. And speaking of COVID-19, 2 new variants of the Omicron COVID virus have been detected in the British Virgin Islands, which as of July 8, 2022 had a total of 24 active cases. This was confirmed by Acting Chief Medical Officer Dr. Ronald Georges, who reminded residents to remain vigilant as the new COVID-19 variants continue to emerge. Georges said, and I quote, "After genetic testing, BA2 and BA4 Omicron variants have been found to be circulating within the Virgin Islands community, while the BA2.7 variant identified in India has not been identified in the Virgin Islands." Now, according to Georges, the 2 strains which are identified in the territory are not classified by the World Health Organization as variants of concern, but remain under monitoring by the World Health Organization. He said the main concern with the 2 variants is their ability to escape both natural and vaccine immunity and lead to high numbers of infections. He said again in a quote, "The public is therefore urged to take appropriate precautions to prevent infection where necessary. This may include the wearing of face masks, frequent hand hygiene, and general sanitization." Now, viewers, the Ministry of Health is advising persons who are ill or suspected that they may have COVID-19 or have been exposed to disease to be tested to confirm their status. Persons who are positive for COVID-19 are being advised to self-isolate for a period of 7 days and end isolation if they test negative by rapid test or after 10 days with no test. As we continue and approach a festival, it is said a minimum of between $1.5 to $2 million is the ideal budget needed to host all festivals in the territory at the highest level. These were the figures presented by the Vice Chair of the Festival and Fairs Committee, Mr. Birch Letsam, at a recent press conference after it was disclosed that the total budget for all festivals this year was just under $1 million. Of the sum disclosed, it was revealed that $500,000 came from the government's subvention.
This year's festival or festivals in general? It's very difficult for me to speak to this year without just giving a bit of a backdrop. The reality of it is, I think festivals in the BVI, especially as we've known it, a minimum of $1.5 to $2 million is really needed for us to pull off the events as we all love them. Your pageants, your village, your Coney Island, your everything that you can possibly think about, all the questions that these things that you might be asking for. A $1.5 to $2 million would be an ideal budget. We were able to actually raise some sponsorships and that kind of stuff. So we're looking at probably spending in the area, well, just under $1 million, inclusive of our sponsorship and the money, the revenues that we potentially stand to gain.
Chairman of the VI Festival and Fairs Committee, Mr. Dirk Walters, provided more insight as a justification for the $1.5 to $2 million figure, which was presented as an ideal budget for all festivals. He said most people are not aware of the broad spectrum of activities that falls under the Festival and Fairs Committee. Walters said that these activities all utilize funds from the committee's budget.
And bear in mind also, when you get this subvention, if you're talking a budget, you're not just speaking about Rotown Festival, you're speaking of Eastern Caribbean and Virgin Gorda Easter Festival as well.
Yes.
And including Gospel Fest,
And
which the
Heritage
Heritage
Month.
Committee
And the Heritage
manages,
Month.
including Heritage Month. And Heritage Month is not just Gospel Fest. I think a lot of persons don't really have a full understanding. There are a whole slate of events for Heritage Month, which is August.
Meanwhile, committee member and popular entertainment organizer Stuart Donovan challenged the government to provide more funding for local festivals, stating that underfunding is the biggest issue facing festivals in the territory.
And the key point there, as the chair and the co-chair says, is that all these activities for festival is governed under the same subvention, you know. So we really need to look at what it is, and I'm going to go on record as challenging the government, because there's a lot of talk about festival overrun, but festivals do not suffer from overrun. Festivals suffer from under budget. Underfunding, sorry. Correct. Underfunding.
Viewers, up next, Kaisa Penn is Acting Human Resources Director, and Malone and Scatliffe prepare to represent the Great Britain women's baseball team at the Euro Championships. All this when 284 News returns.
You value traditions. You value music. You value education. Family. I love you. Service.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Love. Life. At Popular, we're committed to you and everything our community values. For the things you value the most, count on us. Popular.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Hello?
Wait, you had a lunch again? You say you were sick? What happened to over the rehearsal?
No, babe. I'm actually watching the news right now. Take a listen.
Topping our newscast today, UFOs seen around Tortola Pier Park.
And? District 3 residents
reply, they simply cannot bathe. These and more stories when 284 News returns.
All right, babe, just get some rest, take 2 Advil, and I'll see you later. Bye.
Okay, honey, I see you later. I love you.
It's clear to see that Coconut Lounge is a place to be, the coolest cocktail lounge in the British Virgin Islands. A lounge like no other, with welcoming, professional service, and a breathtaking ambiance. Not forgetting a diverse selection of wines, beers, and signature cocktails. Cozy, comfortable, contemporary. Coconut Lounge at Tortola Pier Park. Visit us today. Viewers, welcome back and thank you so much for sticking with us. Now continuing on the local scene here in the Virgin Islands, Miss Kaisa Penn has been appointed Acting Director of Human Resources effective July 1st, while Director Mrs. Michelle Donovan Stevens is on study leave. This was confirmed through a government-commissioned press release, which stated Ms. Penn is one of 2 deputy directors who will serve as Acting Director in Mrs. Donovan Stevens' absence. Deputy Director Ms. Siobhan Hanley will also serve as Acting Director for a period immediately following the end of Mrs. Penn's acting appointment. This decision was made with respect to the considerable period of study leave absence. Deputy Governor of the Virgin Islands, Mr. David D. Archer Jr. said he is confident in Ms. Penn's ability to guide the Human Resources Department in Mrs. Donovan Stevens' absence. He said in a quote, "I have no doubt that Ms. Penn's impressive experience and work in human resources will enable her to steer the department in a direction which benefits the staff at Human Resources as well as officers throughout the public service who can rely on the department's services." Ms. Penn brings to the role over 14 years of strategic public service experience. As Deputy Director since 2019, she was responsible for the design, implementation, and management of programs which support succession and workforce planning and development. Ms. Penn also administered an annual budget of $250,000 for workforce development programs and provided career coaching and planning sessions for public officers, as well as students at the secondary and tertiary levels. As Acting Director of Human Resources, Ms. Penn's duties will include providing leadership and guidance on all aspects of the day-to-day activities of the department. She will also be responsible for managing the human resources and training budgets and plans, and developing and implementing government projects in order to ensure that human resources are managed and controlled consistently, effectively, and efficiently across all ministries and departments. Ms. Penn will remain as Acting Director until December 31st, after which Deputy Director Ms. Siobhan Hanley will be appointed as Acting Director effective January 1st, 2023 until June 30th, 2023. Daria D. Malone and Chloe Scatliffe are set to create history in the British Virgin Islands, or for the British Virgin Islands rather, after being selected to represent Team Great Britain in baseball at the 2020 European Women's Championships in Montpellier, France. Our Kamal Haynes has this story.
The news was confirmed by the Virgin Islands Softball and Baseball Association on Wednesday, July 13th, where both Daria D. Malone and Chloe Scatliffe are members of the BVI Women's National Club, and Team Synergy, the undefeated squad in the women's division of the 2022 Terence Chino Chinnery National Fast Pitch League. The association said the historic occasion will, and I quote, pave the way for many athletes seeking to further their athletic careers in baseball and softball, end quote. Well, in a brief interview with the association, Scatliffe, who currently dominates the diamond in the British Virgin Islands with 9 hits, 16 runs, and 3 home runs, said, and I quote, "I'm ready. I've been working hard for this moment," end quote. Well, she is known for being a versatile player with capabilities of pitching, catching, playing in field, and any position in the outfield. But meanwhile, Malone, who is the owner of Diamond Sporting Academy, said she was still overwhelmed with the news. She said, and I quote, "Well, this opportunity still has me in shock, and I kept it a secret even from my parents for a very long time. I was contacted via Facebook as my former teammate Louis Lou Formetta shared my information with Great Britain's pitching coach Josh Taylor. Well, luckily, Louis recalled Daria was one of the only females that played baseball through the boys and traveled to university to play softball as well," Malone explained. But before both Malone and Scatliffe were selected, they had to each submit a video to the Great Britain coaching staff. The 2 videos focused on throwing, fielding, catching, hitting, pitching, and running. Malone said she received great support from her kids at her academy to compile her submission video. She said, and I quote, "They were so excited for me," adding that the kids would constantly nag her and shout, and I quote, "Hurry up and make the video. We'll even help you do it," which they did, and I'm forever grateful for them, she said. Meanwhile, Scatliffe said her support came from teammates and players Kennard Dawson, Demoy Bennett Hodge, Jamal Lefty Allen, Giancy Rabsat, and Akima Brooks to ensure her submission was on point. Malone also highlighted the level of talent that exists in the territory. She believes that these talented individuals just need an opportunity to showcase their abilities. She said, and I quote, "But there are many talents in this little island we call home. And I can say that because since I started Diamonds, I've seen so many talented boys and girls, but they need to get an opportunity to showcase their talent." Malone and Scatliffe will begin their baseball journey to Montpellier, France on July 28, 2022 and return on August 10th, 2022. The round-robin championship will be played against the Czech Republic, Netherlands, and France teams at the Greg Hamilton Baseball Park in Montpellier. The round-robin championship will be played against the Czech Republic, Netherlands, and France teams at the Greg Hamilton Baseball Park, Montpellier. Accompanying the ladies as they showcase Virgin Islands talent on the world stage will be Daria's father, Mr. Guy Malone. Reporting for 284 News, I am Kamal Haynes.
We continue to wish Ms. Malone and Scatliffe the very best as they compete. We are rooting for you. When 284 News returns, over 70 trained in VI Head of Mutual Evaluation and Public Service Toastmasters welcomes a new board. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
There's a reason you get up on a morning. A reason you pick yourself up, start the day. Maybe it's sheer grit. Maybe it's your ethics. Maybe it's because you know people like you are waiting for people just like you. We all have our reasons, and for Republic Bank, that reason is you. Every little thing, every big thing. It's all about making a difference in your life. Because after 182 years, if it's one thing we're sure about, is that the difference is you. We're here to help.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
The beautiful Virgin Islands, or nature's little secret as some prefer, where the weather stays warm and the drinks stay cold, where men in wigs get their lawyer bills paid by governments and governments lose planes, where walls are built and prisoners escape. You vacation where we suffer. BVI love.
Is business slow, cash flow down, hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works. Viewers, welcome back. Over some 70 government and statutory body representatives were trained as the Virgin Islands prepares to undergo its fourth round of Caribbean Financial Action Task Force mutual evaluation in 2023. Members of the International Monetary Fund facilitated the training and participants were educated on the mutual evaluation process, the standards and stakeholder expectations during the assessment. The two-day program, which began on June 27th, also highlighted money laundering and terrorist financing risk in the context of the Virgin Islands landscape, the principles and process for addressing technical compliance with the Financial Action Task Force, standards and principles, and of course, best practices for demonstrating effectiveness with respect to the FATF's immediate outcomes. Premier and Minister of Finance, Dr. the Honorable Natalio D. Wheatley, during his remarks at the opening ceremony of the training exercise, said that he fully recognized and endorsed the efforts being made to ensure the territory's preparedness for the upcoming assessment. The Honorable Premier, who serves as the chairman of the National Anti-Money Laundering Coordinating Council, said, and I quote, "My government recognizes the central role the Virgin Islands plays in the international finance, the obligation we owe ourselves to maintain a clean and stable society, and the responsibility of cross-border cooperation we share with other countries and territories." Premier Wheatley reminded participants that they are the territory's frontline defense against illicit activity and the guardians of its reputation. The Premier said the training should extend further than the purpose of the mutual evaluation, adding, and I quote, "You are well positioned to protect the financial perimeter of this territory by doing all that is necessary to deny persons engaged in financial crime from finding sanctuary within our midst." Now, in addition to the training for government officers, workshops were held for members of the private sector who will be involved in the evaluation. These sessions provided the territory's financial institutions and designated non-financial businesses and professionals with an overview of the mutual evaluation process while helping them to prepare for the assessment. Other speakers at the opening ceremony included His Excellency the Governor John Ranking, CMG, Managing Director, CEO of the BVI Financial Services Commission, Mr. Kenneth Baker, and Senior Financial Sector Expert with the Financial Integrity Group of the IMF, Ms. Carolina Claver. The government of the Virgin Islands say in recognizing the importance of meeting its international obligations and maintaining the high standard of compliance achieved in the third round of mutual evaluations in 2000, said it fully endorses efforts being made to ensure the territory's preparedness for the upcoming assessment. Now, the mutual evaluation is based on international standards on combating money laundering and the financing of terrorism, and of course, other measures by the Financial Action Task Force. These standards will be used to determine the effectiveness of the Virgin Islands anti-money laundering and counter-terrorist financing systems, policies, and procedures in combating money laundering, terrorist financing, and other financial crimes. The Public Service Toastmasters Club, newly elected 9-member executive body, has commenced its official duties. The board was sworn in at a celebration gala that culminated in what was said to be an exciting first year for the club. Deputy Governor of the Virgin Islands, Mr. David D. Archer Jr., lauded the club's success, stating that he was excited to have watched the Virgin Islands Public Service Toastmasters Club make such a strong start in its first year. Archer said, and I quote, "The acclaim it has already received from the Toastmasters International is a signal of the unique talent of our public officers who I am proud to see are benefiting from the establishment of the club." Now, establishing opportunities such as this club to enhance the professional and personal growth of public officers is of paramount importance. Acting Financial Secretary Mr. Jeremiah Frett also extended congratulations to the club on achieving the President Distinguished Club Award during its inaugural year. He said that he was immensely proud to be part of the enlightened group of public officers who took advantage of the opportunity to improve their leadership and communication skills. He said, and I quote, "I observed the growth of officers who actively participated in this most effective and inexpensive provider of dynamic, high-value, exponential communication and leadership skills development program." He continued, "The transformation was evident in helping to improve both professional and personal lives of public officers. Consequently, the government benefited from the improved quality of service delivered to customers." At the Caribbean Celebration Gala held on Saturday, June 4th, members received certificates issued by Toastmasters International, including them and inducting them, into the official charter members of the Virgin Islands Public Service Toastmasters Club. Awards were presented to club members who completed activities within 7 different areas of focus, such as persuasive influence, effective coaching, and motivational strategies. Now, the VI Public Service Toastmasters Club was also recognized by Toastmasters International as having reached the Select Distinguished level, which is awarded to clubs that meet 7 of the 10 annual goals. Now, viewers, the club was the first new organization to ever be recognized at this very high level internationally and has now since attained an even higher level of President's Distinguished after meeting 9 goals total. The outgoing board included President Mr. Joshua Edwards, Vice President of Education Mr. Benson Tyson, Assistant Vice President of Education Dr. Arlene T. Penn, Vice President of Membership Ms. Lorna Stevens, Vice President of Public Relations Ms. Sherry Ann Stapleton, Secretary Ms. Naricia Henley, Treasurer Ms. Akila Ford Vanterpool, Assistant Treasurer Ms. Tashima Stout, and Sergeant-at-Arms Ms. Kayana Joseph. They are succeeded by President Ms. Sherry Ann Stapleton, Vice President of Education Mr. Benson Tyson, Assistant Vice President of Education Ms. Samira Durant, Vice President of Membership Ms. Rena George, Vice President of Public Relations Ms. Kitty Moore Rubain, Secretary Mrs. Seymour Penn, Treasurer Mr. Emery Shea Pemberton, Sergeant-at-Arms Mr. Zebulon McLean, and immediate past President Mr. Joshua Edwards. The Virgin Islands Public Service Toastmasters Club was realized through the partnership of the Deputy Governor's Office, the Department of Human Resources, and the Tortola Toastmasters Club in July of 2021. The Public Service Toastmasters Club was officially launched with a total of 28 public officers registered as members. These public officers recognized the potential to develop their leadership and communication skills and took full advantage of the opportunity to upskill and expand their professional repertoire. Public officers interested in joining the public are invited to contact the Vice President of Membership, Ms. Rena George, at 468-2008 or rgeorge@gov.vg. Viewers, we'll be right back after a quick commercial break. Brilliant Hands and Minds Tutoring Services, one-on-one tutorials in math and English, intense homework assistance, academic enrichment, school projects, effective communication and public speaking development, sign language for adults and children on Saturdays only. Registered with the Virgin Islands High School Certificate Program, Brilliant Hands and Minds can help you too. Offering intense curriculum-based training to help you or your loved ones get their high school diploma. It's time to make your family's education a #1 priority. Hurry, space is limited. Brilliant Hands and Minds Learning Center. We are the trained education professionals. Viewers, welcome back. Now on the international scene, 6 candidates remain in the running to succeed Boris Johnson as leader of the Conservative Party and Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. This follows a first round of voting within the party on Wednesday, which saw 2 of the initial 8 candidates drop out of the running due to lack of support. The 6 candidates include former Chancellor of the Rishi Sunak, Junior Trade Minister Penny Mordaunt, Foreign Secretary Liz Truss, former Equalities Minister Kemi Badunch, head of the Foreign Affairs Select Committee Tom Tudat, and Attorney General Suella Braverman. It was clear with the private poll for Sunak, who received 88 votes, and a smooth sail to the second round. Sunak, who was one of the more than 50 members of the parliament to resign last week, said that despite contributing to the wave of resignations that set the stage for Johnson to step down, his campaign will not support the growing campaign to demolish Johnson or any of his competitors within the press.
I'm running a positive campaign focused on what my leadership can offer our party and our country. I will not engage in the negativity that you may have seen and read in the media. If others wish to do that, then let them. That's not who we are. We can be better. Because I look across the field of candidates and I see colleagues and friends. I see people I admire and respect, people with exceptional qualities. I want to say to all of them, we are still part of the same Conservative family, and when this election is over, we're going to work together for the British people.
Viewers, we will of course continue to keep you posted, but that is it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us on all our social media platforms. Reporting for 284 News, I'm Ron Grant. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.